I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today I thought we would do another brand focus. I've got some Nars. I've got bronzer, highlighter, 2 palettes, foundation, blush, under eye, and lip. The palettes I'm using are the Narcissus. They're not available now, but I have them and I want to use them. And I love this palette. It doesn't get enough love. I'm going to start with my foundations as usual. Here's the deal with NARS foundations. They have a wide range. They just don't have a good range as far as I'm concerned because there's not a color for me. I had to buy something way too light for me and something way too dark for me to mix together because something in between isn't available that isn't super orange. They have a lot of orange foundations. When I first bought this, I loved it. And I saw it wasn't getting a lot of love on YouTube, and I felt that was because people were using it wrong. They weren't reading how to apply this, which is definitely with your fingers. But it didn't take me long to, I don't know, I wasn't loving it so much, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was getting the color mix, or if it felt like it was pretty full coverage, and when something's full coverage it really should be a good color mix. I don't know what, but I just stopped using it. But I did love it at first and I want to revisit. This is the color I got. I don't know. So this looks too light and too yellow. I'm going to put in a little bit of the darker one. You don't need a lot. The pump gives very little, and that's I think because you don't need a lot. Not much darker, but we're just going to go for it. So with this one, you really work it in with your fingers. Usually I do a slap and go, but this one it can go into fine lines and look a little cakey if you really don't get it warm and work on it synergizing with your skin. And I do feel like this is still just too yellow, even though both these colors are neutral, I believe. I'm wearing a sunscreen today that's dimethicone. I'm just trying to get rid of it because I really don't like it. And I don't feel like it looks fantastic on top of this sunscreen. I think the only person I saw on YouTube who loved this was Desi Perkins. Yeah, some balling going on here. Yeah, this looks horrible. I need to give this another try with a different sunscreen, and if it doesn't work, this is going away. The color just, it looks a little orange when I see my skin coming through. It's like, what? We'll see what the final looks like. You never know. This does build very well though. I say, you know, all you have to do is kind of tap on top of areas where you want to build, and it does. You can get much better coverage in areas that you have redness or you want to hide. I love this concealer, and all my nails are breaking because it's so dry out, so I can use it with my fingers, which is my preferred method. And this is Custard. Now that I've discovered this, I'm going to use it. So it's not 100% a NARS face, but I'm still, you know, working on the under eye situation. I want this to have a moment to adhere to the skin, so I don't want to go right in with the concealer. And I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do my blush yet. So I'm just going to sit here for a minute. Alright, now we're going to go in with concealer. I just checked my face in the other room, and the skin looks really nice. In the 8X it doesn't, but you know, regular distance with regular eyesight, it looks really, really nice. But it does feel like it's kind of orangey on me. Ugh. I haven't used this in ages, but generally I just work it in with my finger. I find that one of the things about this concealer is it seems to be formulated to melt into the skin when you touch it. And generally I don't powder this because it's not super emollient and it's not super shiny. So I'm going to start with some liquid blush. This is Orgasm. I have 2 colors. The other one is Dolce Vita, and I just really don't think it's a great color on me. I don't think this is a great color on me either, actually. I use this more to change the color of my foundations, but you just need a little. You can see how that moves around. Get some on the fingers, kind of the top there. And clean the fingers and just kind of melt this into the skin. Highlighter, I got the Maldives, or Maldives, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Maldives. I know most people got the Fort de France, but I thought this was better for my skin tone. So this is pinkish. And you can build this up to be quite radiant, but you can also just get a whisper of it. Pretty. And the famous Laguna. You know what's weird? I usually do my foundation and then my eyeshadow and then my face. I just realized I'm not going in my usual order. Now when I bought this, the sales rep told me that this is really buildable. You can make it sheer if you want to. And that's the only thing that made me buy it, because if I'm being totally honest, bronzers kind of scare me. I bought this a couple of years ago and it was one of my first bronzers. The tops of the cheeks and over the nose, really gently. I find that bronzer on top of the cheeks really imparts a healthy glow. It actually looks like you're sun-kissed rather than putting it under here. You know, top of the cheekbones, because that's where you get hit, and the top of the cheeks, because that's where I get hit, a little lower the nose. I feel like I look like I've gotten a little sun. I think the star of this palette is this color. I love this color. You know, you got some basic stuff, and this little shimmer here, love. Start here, a little depth. So I'm hitting in between the socket line and the top of the eyeball. And with this color, which, I don't know, to me this is like a pink paprika. And I'm just kind of going to do the outer third. And then bring it out straight away so the color can be seen when my eyes are open. Blending brush. Just want to make everything smooth. Eyes look okay. I'm going to go back to the eyes, but I want to take a look at the skin now that everything's settled. I'm looking in the mirror thinking I definitely want to powder this, but I'm getting some settling right here. I'm going to have to try this again because I do think this silicone-based sunscreen that I'm wearing is hurting the performance of this. But I'm just going to go over with a beauty blender. This beauty blender is not wet. I sprayed it a little bit with rose water and glycerin. I'm just going to go over the entire face. I'm going to put a little powder here to hopefully stop it from creasing. That's better. I like that finish better. It's not quite as shiny. Now I think I'm going to go in with some more blush. One of the reasons I bought this palette was this lavender color. I mean, who has lavender blush? And I think it just adds a little bit of freshness and brightness. It's indiscernible. It's almost like a correcting powder. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm going to use that. I'm just, on a guess, going to put it on the inside of my cheeks, which usually you don't want blush to go there. Usually you want 2 fingers, but I have apples, you know, so I like to put color on them. But I think this is just, I don't know, there's something about that color. In the name of science, I'm going to go in with this one and kind of use it as a contour blush. It's fairly neutral. All right, I'm going to do my brows, line my eyes, put on some mascara, and then come back for the lips. To me, this is a great everyday look, but there are some beautiful shimmers in here, so I might just play around a little bit. I'm going to go with this one. Just a little something. Just, I mean, it's daytime. I just don't want to do, I'm kind of over, actually. I really am. This obligatory idea that we have to have shimmer on our eyes of some kind of foil or metallic or glitter. You know, it just doesn't really work that great for me. I don't hate it, but I just don't feel like I should be obliged to wear it every day. It's a perfectly good matte look. It's a pretty matte look. Why am I going to make myself nuts about it? I like the look. And finally, lips. This is Dolce Vita, and it needs to be sharpened. But I don't have a large sharpener down here, so I'm just going to dab this on. But I love this color. A lip color can just bring everything to life. Before I put that on, I thought, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's something about the blush that isn't working for me. There's something that just doesn't seem like alive and vibrant, and then just a little subtle lip color and suddenly, boom, it all falls into place. I think it's a very pretty look, right? Do you? The foundation though, this needs to be tested again with a different sunscreen, and if it doesn't make that test, it's gonna go. It's just too hard for a color. The coverage is good. I'd say this is a solid high medium. It's probably the fullest coverage foundation that I own, but it doesn't lay really great, so I'm going to give that another try. This, again, this is Orgasm, and I use this mostly to mix with foundations that are too yellow. As a color, again, it doesn't excite me. You know when you have the right blush color on, it's like boom, boom, and oof, you look alive. And this didn't do it for me, ever. When it first came out, there was this beautiful ad with this Asian woman in a pink background, and it was one of those 10-second ads. I'm like, oh, I have to go get that. But it didn't look on me like it looked on her. But it's invaluable for changing the color of my foundation. This is fine. I recently did a highlighter video, and I've already spoken about this. Pink isn't necessarily my jam, but I think it's a good idea to have a couple of colorways, right? Just in case. It's fun. And this is buildable and sheer. So if you're a little bit afraid of bronzer like I've always been, this is a really nice one. No one talks about it anymore, but it's worth talking about, I think. This is lovely. It's the lavender that got me into this one. It runs pretty peach, which isn't my jam. But again, blush is where I think it's a good idea to have a wardrobe. A bunch of different colors. The pinks are what suit me, what I'm more comfortable with, but I like to have something different, and this hits that spot. And you can mix them together, or all of them, or two of them, or whatever. This shade right here is a highlighter. Let's put that on the nose. No longer available, but it's good. Also no longer available, but I do like this palette a lot. I know it seems basic. I mean, you brown, right? Dark brown, this color, another matte, and then a bunch of shimmers. This I don't think I've ever used. I do not know how to bring this color into the mix, but this color I love, and this color I love, and it kind of makes it worth it to me because those browns are incredibly neutral and usable. And you could do day to night with this palette. Again, no longer available, but I like it. And the concealer. It's getting radiant now from all the stuff that I'm using. So I'm going to powder that off camera. But that's it. That is my Nars Focus, and I think the look is really pretty. Are any of these my hands down favorites? No. It's a weird brand for me. It's not something like I can't live without this. Yeah, I can. I can't live without this, well, I use this as a tool. I can't live without these. I can. You know, it's good, it's fine, but it's not a brand where I'm thinking, I have to have this. You know what I mean? But that is it. Boom, boom. Perfectly lovely. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. I appreciate it, and I hope I entertained you for a few minutes, and I hope you come back again. In the meantime, I'm wishing you a great day. Bye.